Okay, layout's coming down today. I made too many mistakes, too many regrets, and I'm going to start over right from the beginning, and I'm going to show you why right now. Let me start off by saying April Fools, everybody. I'm not taking this apart. I still think I know what I'm doing, but probably not. Who am I kidding? So we're going to do an update for April 2020. I've been really busy, and I'm going to take you around the layout, and I'm going to show you just exactly what I have been doing this past month. Let's do something different. Let's start up on the top level this time, because I've been doing a lot of work up here. Doesn't look like it yet, but when we come around, you'll notice that I actually snipped the track, my main line. There was a switch here. I had a number 6, and that went into here, went across the bridge, went down and around. Not the case anymore. So there was an intention to put a siding, which came off of here, and you can kind of see the track here, or the cork, because that's the second line. This here came down into here into the switch, and that's how it was going around. But the siding was only going to go from about here all the way around to this switch right here. You can kind of see, I haven't done anything with it yet. That is a really small siding, and I don't like it. I don't like it as a passing siding. I don't like it as a place to leave cars, because let's face it, this goes down on a 2% here, so it's not like I can leave a car there. And if I was to put a string of cars here, I run the risk of it just forcing its way down the siding there anyways. So what I plan on doing, or what I've started to do, like I said, I removed the switch. There was a switch machine here. That switch machine has been put down one level right into here. More on that later. But yeah, so I basically took the cork off to here, and I removed all the cork up to there. That came down to here as well. I relayed new cork, connecting it up here. So that's going to be the inside line. That's going to continue around. And I have to continue this all the way to that switch that I showed you right there. So that is going to be the inside main. And the outside remains the same up into that switch right there, which is going to go over and down into what is now my ethanol facility, which is going to cover a huge portion of this here, most of it anyways. But it's going to continue around, and you see how it's kind of coming out a little bit here? Well, I'm going to add a second bridge. You can see that I have a pier there, and another, well, not a pier, but abutment. Thanks to Bub031 for finding the single track abutments for me. And he was able to grab those out in Montreal when he went. So I just got to put those in. But I need to grab a bridge first, which I have an idea of a couple of bridge types of bridges that I want to add in there. But for now, I just have that like that sitting there. But that track is going to go across this bridge here. And then you can kind of see how I've widened the actual foam there with more foam. I could have gotten another set of risers, but half of it would have went to waste, because as you can see, the foam just stops to the left there. I'm going to add a number 8 coming off that main, and it's going to come up and around beside this track here, and then it's going to go across the second bridge and then around like that. And that is my idea for making at least one of these sidings much, much longer. Yeah, it's going to go across a bridge, but I got to keep with the scene here, you know? So it's going to go down, and then it's going to kind of level out down there and go across the number 8 and then rejoin the line. This will give me so much more space, so much more room for a passing siding, or even just a siding to leave some cars. Yeah, I'm totally trying to rework the top of the layout here, trying to make things work better. And I think that this is a good start. Going from about, oh, I don't know, 6 feet of a siding to about 12, 14 feet of a siding. So it's definitely going to be a lot better. And I look forward to utilizing that, getting this done so I can run loops again, because I'm already itching to run more trains. Here's another view of that, but down from the area where I'm going to put the number 8. Number 8's going to go in here, and it's going to come off like this and go up this way, which should work totally fine for that. You'll notice that I just have my ethanol plant up here, most of it anyways, and not my steel mill. The steel mill, like I said in my last update, the kits are just too tall, and I still have to raise up the land here. And it's probably going to be about 3 to 4 inches up that I have to raise it. So it doesn't give me a lot of room. Some parts of the ceiling here, as you can see, drop down and some are higher. So I have to be very careful on my placement of my buildings and whatnot. So that's going to be fun as well, trying to work around that. But it doesn't really require too much space. It's mostly going to be scene that is up here. So I'm not too worried. Most of the area where you're going to have to deal with cars and track is going to be right at the front here. So that's really going to be the only reaching area. The rest of this is going to just be land or trees or whatever, roadway, whatever I come up with. But yeah, I removed all that stuff. I cleaned out my shop and I cleaned off my counters. So that's where all my buildings are currently. They're all sitting along there, protected, and they're not going to get damaged while I'm working away on the layout. Quick note, no one ever really sees this area of my, layout room, because it's on the other side of that wall there. But yeah, this is where I used to cut all my wood. You can obviously see wood and scraps all over the floor there. I kind of made a pile because I'm cleaning still, but yeah, this was full of sawdust from my chop saw and whatnot. So I cleaned it all off. Looks a lot better now, and I put all my buildings here. Not a huge deal, because maybe on the next layout. That's funny. But yeah, I'm able to put a lot of stuff up here. Again, that's a paper mill. I'm not going to use that one for the layout, but I have it. It's painted and whatnot. The roof is kind of collapsing, actually. I should fix that before it gets worse. But yeah, I'm not even going to be using that. So I'm just hanging on to a lot of these kits here for maybe a future layout. Who knows what the future has in store, because, well, let's face it, I have a reputation of moving every 5-6 years or so. So let's hope not, but just in case. As I was saying in one of my last videos, I am planning on putting a big train station up here. It's going to look really nice. I have an idea in my mind of what I want to do and how I want it to look. I just need a number of tracks that I can come in, park a lot of my passenger equipment, and then pull it out when I need to use it. Otherwise, it just sits around the layout, kind of like all my Via LRC cars, my Tempo cars, yeah, and the Northlander as well. Like they take up a lot of real estate. So I want to have a station specifically where I could just park all my passenger equipment. And I think that I will be doing that up here. It's still too early to be saying when that will be done or when construction will start, but I'm going to shoot for this year. Hopefully by August, and you guys will see this entire top area here come to life, and it should be good. I'm looking forward to it. And it's gonna basically connect down, and there's two switches here, one that shoots off this way, and then there's one that shoots off to the back here. So it's gonna go along and connect to those switches there, and that's where it'll enter and exit from the rest of the layout. But more on that later. Remember when I was telling you about how my cars just sit around the layout and there's so many of them everywhere? Yep, that's a good example. I got this kit together, not totally, I still have a lot to do with it, but I did add it to the layout there. I raised it up with some cardstock or foam core board, and I added a lot of the little details, but most of it needs to be painted still. But this is really how it's coming together here. Still have lots to do with the paper mill, and I'm really excited because it's really coming together, and I'm really liking and utilizing it, and it also looks great with all the lights that I added too. So a bit more to do on that, but I hope to be adding ballast and more scenery to it, just to kind of complete it and get it done and over with, because I mean, it's a process. It takes forever. There's so many little things, and well, I'm only one guy, so. This is actually one of the busier spots on my layout because you've got trains going in both directions, and then you also have a branch line with a bridge going over top of all of it. It's a pretty big bridge I custom built here. More like a kit bash, I guess you could say, because it's two kits and I had to make it into one long bridge. You'll see that after. But I got really tired of seeing through the layout down to the first level. So I weaved all this over the last couple of days, and I've connected it through. I now have a switch machine under here, so that's fine. And you can see, obviously I've got power to it right now because the same thing is connecting to the light, so, which is fine. It's not gonna hurt it because I'm not getting any water near that. I'm just covering this over, covering this, and filling in the back there. And just down the middle of these two tracks here, it stops here basically. I did drop two feeders, or two sets of feeders, so one for this one for this one. I still have to do the back there, but I'm not really in a rush to do that because the power back there seems pretty good, so not too worried. But because this is such a busy section, I really wanted to get this spot done and make it almost into another photographable area where I can take pictures of trains coming and going. And yeah, that means doing up all the scenery for it and whatnot, just like I've done with like other areas and things like that. So I really want to get this also done, all the water and whatnot, and done up with the bridge. But I'm only going to go up to where the green tape is here with the plaster cloth for now, and then I'm gonna work my way down. Got a busy road there. All my buses are just, you know, I had to push them all down that way. But yeah, I'm really excited to get this done here because this is, again, such a major eye focal point for the layout. I will do the front section here later because I'm gonna run my fascia right around here and kind of want to figure out what's going to go in here as well. So it might just be grass, not too sure yet, but as long as I can get back in here and do all this and get my bridge in place, then I feel like I've done quite a bit at that point. So we'll take a look, we'll get this done, and we'll be back once all the cloth is down, and then we'll keep chipping away at it, and I'll show you more of the layout. Yeah, I got a lot of this done. I did it today, actually. And I feel very good about it. It's a long time coming. Like I said, we were able to move a switch machine into here. So this is fully operational. when I decide to use it and when there's power going to it. Bubs helped me with that. He came over one day and we were working on the top level and moving the switch machine over to here. So shout out to Bub031 for that. Now this area here, this is crazy because I don't think I've showed this to you yet. I took two kits, the bridge, I don't have the box anymore, but you basically get two of these and a part of like the top part of the bridge. And it basically goes over a double track, right? It's just a highway overpass. It's from Walthers. And I'm just gonna put that in there real quick just to kind of show you. So that'll fit in there, and I've got another one of these. So I took the other side and I made a double. You can kind of see how I patched them together, but it works. And it's, hopefully I can get it back in here now that I've, it's not painted or anything yet, but let's see here. I might have to trim it a bit now that I've added, yeah, I'll probably have to trim it. But anyways, so that's what it looks like, or what it will look like. I did all the cardboard weaving, and oh, you know what? Maybe I can. No, I'm not going to do that with one hand. So I made a flat part that goes right across, and it's going to come down like this. Once I put my fascia up, it'll all blend in and look nice. But yeah, so those are that's my overpass. Oh, and I've got this here as well. This is going to go right in here, which is going to support the bridge right in the middle. But once that's all together and painted, it'll look really good, I hope. And it'll all blend nicely. And I'm going to add bushes and ballast and all that. And I'm really excited to bring this area of my layout to life because I think it'll be great for doing pictures and whatnot, trains coming and going out of this area here. And yeah, I kind of just stopped there because there's a lot going on. So I like to work on an area at a time. So this area, which basically goes from here to here, it's a good 4 feet there, I'm assuming. Yeah, I'm gonna do that, get that all done, and then I'll be able to move down and do all this, and then link that up with the paper mill, do section by section. But I just really thought that this area would look really nice for doing photos and whatnot. So I'm gonna do this area first. Continuing around, I still have to add a little hand throw for that, but this all has power. I even added some more feeders. You can kind of see them hanging down there to give this some extra power here. And I can come in and out of here, no problem, with locomotives. And I moved the Pillsbury, I changed this to the Pillsbury factory here. You can see I have my cars here now and the little guy, as opposed to the bakery, which that's just going to be a building. I don't know what, but it's got rail car drop off pickup. So who knows? I'll come up with something later, I guess. But yeah, so this will be the Pillsbury factory here, dropping off flour and whatnot. And I still don't have a kit for that, but I'm working on that as well. Disregard the fact that I don't have any lights on over here right now. They do work, but I didn't feel like crawling under the layout just to turn them on for this. So yeah, not too much has happened over here. All my locomotives are just kind of in the yard here because I'm still waiting on my display case. So once the case comes in, I'm gonna remove like 95% of this and fill up the case so that everything isn't out and about like that. And I can just take things out as I need them. Again, things just laying about the the whole layout here. I got all my grain cars here because typically I have them up here. They'll sit on this siding, but there's more cars than siding. And also because I was working up here, I didn't want them getting in the way. So I brought them down a level, and that's where they've been sitting for like a week. I finally put this kit together here. This is gonna go in here. It's going to go like over one of these tracks. Just a sanding tower for North Bay. There's one there, so I just got to paint it like the one that's there, and then I'll be able to put it in. Very nice. It very heavy. This is I can't remember who makes these, but it's basically brass pieces and pewter metal, and then rubber hoses with a wire inside, so you can actually bend that and shape that how you want. But yeah, I did the undercoat of white, and now I just got to detail it, weather it, and then place it. But for now, it'll just sit there waiting. So much to do. Okay, well, either way, not much has changed. I did dump a lot of cars back in here just so that I would have more room on the layout to use and run the main line. But yeah, areas and spaces are filling up quickly. Like, I've got tank cars, like I got more tank cars, thanks to Mark. Yeah, tons of cars. I pulled out my ONR center beams. That's an exclusive run from Otter Valley. They did 4 numbers. They're there now. So yeah, I think when I go to actually use them though, there'll be 2 in here, and then 2 elsewhere. So, 2 empty, 2 full, and I'll be able to do the exchange of them, because 4 just does not fit. You can kind of see it hangs out just a little too much past the fence there, past the fence line. So I'm going to be doing 2 and 2, and then I can add it to like a mixed manifest, and then drop off and whatnot. Got all these other cars here too. They, that's what happens when you pull all your cars out and you have too many cars, and like literally every single ONR car. You guys saw that I did the fascia, but I added the curtain this past month. I literally have all my curtain up everywhere except like a little piece here, which I don't know what I'm doing there yet. The back of this, which is going to get covered with that fake wood paneling. It'll look nice when it's done. And then a little piece, like you can obviously see it ends there, and then, so what's going to go there, So I haven't done any work in that specific back area, but you'll notice that I did put some foam here. It's not glued down. I'm just kind of testing the waters, put the building there. Don't know what it's going to be for yet, but, yeah, still working on everything. So hopefully I can sort all that out soon and get everything going, because you clean up one mess and then you make another in the process. For example, I cleaned up a good chunk of this, but then you get some more stuff in, and now you have a whole area here of stuff. Like, I put all my boxes typically under there. I just haven't really had a chance to clean those boxes. So, yeah. And if you're wondering why all those boxes are sitting on the layout, it's because I was doing the plaster cloth and I don't want any plaster or anything to drip down. So that's all down there to make sure that that stays fine, I guess. So I don't have to go back and fix it. And then I even have some cardboard. I was able to squeeze some cardboard in here to kind of block that as well. So I can leave it there, but it doesn't really matter. It's all going to get covered over anyway. So, but I'm really excited because, yeah, I love doing scenery. This is my bread and butter right here. So, and then hopefully the buses, don't get ruined. I should really move them right out of there. But yeah, that's about it. Well, that's about it for this month. Go Viera, go home. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much to all the GVO crew supporters for my channel. Definitely appreciate each and every single one of you. We'll be doing a giveaway soon, so stay tuned for that. And all your names will be listed at the end of this video. So thank you again so much. Coming up, lots more to do, lots on the go. GVO After Dark, Third Rail Thursday, Tim, first Thursday of the month, me, which would be on the second Thursday of the month, M&M Rails, Mark, he's the third week, and then GVO After Dark, and also keeping track. Keeping track happens before GVO After Dark. I usually have it set as a premiere. I've been getting some positive response from that, so I think I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going with it, so people tend to like it, or seem to enjoy it, I should say. So yeah. And I've got a few mail calls and whatnot on the way as well, so stay tuned. So much more, lots. There's always something to talk about, something to show you. But thank you so much for watching today.